And good morning, Laura Volushko for Indiana 105 with our special guest this morning. We have Marci Crozier in studio with us. Courtney Crozier, who is in California, joining us at the 5 a.m. wake-up time, Pacific Daylight Time, both having been on NBC's big hit show, The Biggest Loser, both now being off of the show. Of course, not both at the same time. We had Marci on the show a few weeks ago, soon after she was eliminated, and Courtney eliminated from the show just a couple weeks back on Tuesday, April 5th, week 14. Marci having left the show on the show that was broadcast on March 15th. So thank you both for joining us here, joining us on the air today. And I'll start right with you, Courtney. You had to go back to Cal. You were back in Northwest Indiana for a time. You're back in California now. Still busy doing everything. Of course, both of you will be back in California again for the big finale coming up next month for The Biggest Loser. But what was it like in that time frame when you were without your mom on the show? Because you were a team. You were together with your mom, starting with your mom on that show on The Biggest Loser for several weeks, and then your mom left the show. What was that like?
I mean, it was really hard for me after my mom left. She's been my biggest support since the very beginning, but the one thing that I always said is, when she wasn't around, I was going to have to stand on my own. And unfortunately, when I had to prove myself to stand on my own, my body was going through, a horrible plateau. So it was really hard. Emotionally, I always knew my mom was there. I knew that she was there for me, and whether she was there physically or not, I knew, she was always there in spirit. So I just kept that in mind. And, yeah, it was hard without her, but I knew that I had to work my butt off every single day, and that's what I did. And, I ended up going home, but it's okay because, I have my mom, and, yeah, now I'm in California, and I'm still physically not with my mom, but I know that she's there every day. And that's the kind of relationship that we have, and that's the awesome part about it. And that's why I love her and why she's my best friend.
Now, you started the show at 323 pounds. You lost 89 pounds on the show. Is that correct? Your weight was 234 when you were voted off. And then prior to that, you lost 112 before you even got on the show.
Yep. I left the show at 231. I lost 92 while I was there. But, yeah, close enough.
And your mom, of course, the first contestant to reach her goal weight, down to 162, starting at 238, total weight loss on the show, 76 pounds. So the accomplishments are bound for the both of you, as well as everyone on the show with you.
Thank you. It was really something to be there with Courtney. When I went there, I thought I was going for Courtney. And I thought I was living her dream, but I was just a part of in her dream. Once I got there, I realized it was for me too, and I needed to focus on myself too. And Courtney took me along for the ride, but it was a perfect experience for me.
And the ride hasn't stopped. Now, tell me both, Marci and Courtney, your life has certainly changed since the show, and of course, the show actually does continue still.
Yeah, it's not over. It's not over yet. So we have our finale on May 24th. It's a Tuesday, and we still have to stay focused for this finale. It's probably, for me, the way I look at it is we've already both won. It doesn't matter. $100,000 is a lot of money to be able to win for the home prize, but it certainly doesn't buy your health, and there's just nothing more important than your health. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't want to feel any pressure. I don't want my daughter to feel any pressure. We're winners, period.
Courtney, now day to day, of course, obviously your schedules and everything have been very busy and have changed since the show, but what about the day to day that we don't see, the day to day behind the doors? How has your life changed, what you do and your habits?
It's so crazy because, I look back on who I used to be and what I used to do, and, things have changed so drastically. And this really isn't about, it's not about a diet. It's not about, having to go to the gym and dreading it every day. This really is my lifestyle now, and it's going to be a part of my life the rest of my life. It's all about changing your mind, and that's the one thing that I did, way before Biggest Loser, and way right when I started my weight loss journey, I had to change my mind. And the moment that I did that, I've never looked back a day since then. It really is about that. If you change your mind and you want something bad enough, no matter what it is, whether it's weight loss or anything in life, you really can get it. And that's my number one thing that I would say to anyone. If you change your mind, which only takes a split second, and follow your dreams, you really can do anything.
And the show continues tonight. I understand there is a New Zealand adventure bungee jumping river surfing show. What's it going to be like watching that here? Seeing that show tonight, because you're not on the show obviously anymore. What's about thoughts just as you're sitting at home seeing the show as you're watching it?
Well, when I watched the New Zealand episode last week, I was like, dang, I missed that trip by a day.
Right.
And, just watching everyone, have so much fun there, it's awesome. Like, I'm so happy for them that they got to go on this adventure. Everything that they do, it's awesome. Like, the show really is. Like, there's so many ups and downs, but all the cool adventures that we got to go on was just so cool. And New Zealand was definitely one of those things. Unfortunately, my mom and I didn't get to experience that, but we'll get to go to New Zealand one day. We're going to definitely go together, and, it didn't have to be through a show to do it. So I'm so happy for everyone that's left, though, and they're doing great. They're all rock stars.
Fantastic. Anything either of you you still want to add that I didn't ask about the show, about your experience, or any advice, words of advice to anyone who might be embarking on a weight loss challenge of their own?
I think, again, Courtney taught me so much when I was there, and she said a couple of profound things to me, and I think one of them was, changing your mind and how it only takes a split second. It may take time to change your body, but I think what I'm most proud of for Courtney is one of the messages that she sent the day that she left, and that was that, she started her journey, losing 112 pounds before she even got on The Biggest Loser. And then it was a whirlwind of awesomeness, right in the middle. It was fast track. It was great. It was a great experience. But the truth is, I believe she's supposed to finish this journey at home. And I think the message that she sent, that you don't need a show to do this, was just one of the most important messages she could send America, because obviously there is a big obesity problem in America. And for people to sit back, and it's kind of sad to me, people have written me and said, help me get on the show. I need this. And I 200 people in the country have ever even been on this show. And hundreds of thousands of people try out for it every year. And for people to hold on to the hope of getting on the show is sad to me. It doesn't take the show you don't need the show to get to what your goals are. You just need to put your mind to it. So thank you, Courtney, for sharing that message, on TV, because I really think people needed to hear that.
Anything you want to add, Courtney? Continue the whirlwind of awesomeness.
No,
the
whirlwind of awesomeness. What's that, Court?
I'm just saying that's exactly how I feel. I mean, this was never about a show for me. We got really lucky, but this really is about changing your mind. And if you, like I said, if you get that right and you realize that and you want it bad enough, you really can do it. You can do it at home. You can do it at a ranch. You can do it anywhere. And that's the most important thing that people need to realize. Get your mind right. Believe in yourself, and you can do this.
And it could take someone listening to both of you right now just enough to spark them to start their own whirlwind of awesomeness adventure.
Hope so.
Thank you both, Marci and Courtney Crozier. Thank you both, and we look forward to seeing you again, as we will on the finale episode, when you'll have to gather back in May for The Biggest Loser on NBC. The next episode is tonight, 7 Central. The bungee jumping and New Zealand adventure continuing tonight on NBC. Laura Volushko, Indiana 105.